So my video went viral and today I'm going to show you how to earn money as a senior high school student. So when I was in senior high school, I was earning around 9,500 pesos per month from a paid internship. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to apply for paid internships in the Philippines and a lot of my own tips from my own personal experience. Okay, so a bit of a background for me is I'm currently a second-year student at the Ateneo de Manila University. So when I was in grade 12, I did one internship and my role was an e-commerce sales and marketing intern. And yeah, so I'm just gonna walk you through my own experience, what I did, what you can expect from a paid internship or an internship in general, and basically how to apply for these. Okay, so my first tip is of course to make sure that your resume and cover letter are all good. So for your resume, I know a lot of students think that it's so scary to make one because they don't know where to start. But basically, this is a template that you can follow. So for your resume, all you have to do is put your contact details in this template, and then your work experience, your educational background, and then your certification, skills, and experiences. You have to make sure that everything is optimized for that role. Because recruiters need to see that, oh, she has a bit of experience here, that maybe she can transfer to this role. So these are called transferable skills. Another tip is to look at Google Docs and not Canva for resume templates. It's so tempting to go to Canva because the templates there, even for me, were so colorful. But in the corporate world, a lot of those templates are not being used. What's being used are the normal black and white ones, unless you're specifically in the creative industry. So that's something to keep in mind. So after you've done your resume, which I can make a more in-depth video about, you'd want to check if the application needs a cover letter. So let's say your resume and cover letter are all good. Now you'd want to go to Facebook groups such as these and basically check if anything interests you. So you're not going to find an internship opportunity that you want in just one day. What I did was I was active in these groups. I searched every day on which opportunities really interested me, and then I liked them or I saved them. Because this way, I get to check back on those opportunities and then prioritize them on a scale of 1 to 5. If I really liked it, then it's top 1. I'll really make the best cover letter for it. So let's say you found your internship. So let's say this is internship opportunity that you really like. Now you'd want to follow instructions. This is so important because recruiters will be seeing if you follow instructions. So if the listing says, please do not DM the recruiter, instead email your application to this Gmail account, then please follow that because that's one way that you can show you're listening to them and you're also following instructions. So how do you craft an email? So this is a sample template that you can use to craft your email. You just want to introduce yourself, what school you came from, why you're interested in the opportunity, and why you think you can make a good contribution in this internship experience. Key thing I always put in my applications is that I'm excited to learn as much as I can. So not only will we absorb all of the experiences, we will also be contributing as much as we can to the experience. So now let's say that they've said, okay, great application, let's set up a meeting or an interview. So typically, there will be 2 rounds of interviews. In my experience, the first interview when I was in senior high school was with the head of the whole department. If you're applying for a marketing and e-commerce sales internship, then you will first most likely meet with the e-commerce department head. And then, if they like you and they think you're a good fit, they're going to pass you on to the manager. So the manager is who you will be directly under. So they will be supervising you, they will be assessing you, and stuff like that. Okay, so tips kapag nag-i-interview. Number 1, wear the appropriate outfit. Not like this. This is casual, guys. In all of my interviews, I wear just a normal top, maybe a top like this where you can't really see the text, and then a blazer. So it just makes you look more formal and put together. Tapos syempre maayos yung hair mo. And maybe for the girls, you'd want to wear a little bit of makeup. And then for the guys, syempre, maayos yung haircut. And then maayos yung background also. Make sure na hindi masyado maingay, walang sumisigaw sa side or something like that, or dogs barking. You'd want to really avoid that because you want to have a really good connection with the interviewer. And pag may interruptions, minsan distract din kayo. Okay, so another interview tip is research as much as you can before the internship interview. Kasi they will be asking you about the company and why you'd want to join. So before my internship interview, I actually searched up like all of the information I can find about this company. And I was like, okay, so it's sustainable company, it's owned by this person has done these things, this is their vision, mission, these are their values, and stuff like that. So I really made sure to know all of the things I can cover. I searched up everything I could, and then I joined the interview. So I have notes pa. I'll try to attach my notes here if kaya ko pa siya mahanap. But it basically included the role, basic interview questions like what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, why do you want to join this job, what can you contribute, why should we hire you. Situationers are a big thing. For example, they're going to ask you, what if a member of your department is not cooperating with you? What will you do? So how you can answer these situationers, I think meron neto sa lahat ng interviews, is using the STAR method. Din siya sa mga experience-based questions. Because they're going to ask you sometimes, was there ever a moment that you had difficulty with a project or fulfilling a project? What did you do? Okay, so let's say you've passed the first interview. Now, you'd have to wait a little bit to go to the second interview. It's not like you can apply now and then accepted ka na tomorrow or accepted ka na in 1 week. Sometimes that's the case pag kailangan talaga nila ng interns. Pero pag hindi, you can't expect na sobrang bilis ng turnover. So let's say na-relay ka na to the second interview. Congratulations! What you have to do now is really prepare kasi ito na yung time na you're going to meet your direct supervisor. You also have to keep in mind, these interviews are your chance to basically see if tama ba yung fit sa'yo. Tama ba yung culture fit? Mukhang okay ba yung manager mo? Mukhang okay ba yung company? It's a two-way road. So you can't imagine na ikaw lang yung ine-interrogate. You have to ask questions at the end of the interview. So some of my favorite questions are, so your job is working more on the macro side of things and basically on the operations. How can my internship role contribute to that? So that question is really good kasi you're going to see how you will contribute to the role and you will see your day-to-day tasks. So another type is, how is the onboarding process like in these internships? The company has to answer doon is what the process is like from you being accepted to you actually being an intern and doing the actual work. There will be a training process. That's the onboarding. So, you'd want to make sure that the company, of course, has a good onboarding process para naman magawa mo yung job mo well. Okay, so we're done with the interviews and let's say you've gotten accepted. So, usually doon na ilalayout yung allowance if paid internship siya. And then, you're going to have to sign it. So, you need a bank account, a valid ID. Obviously, have someone review the document also. Pero basahin mo din ng mabuti yung document. Okay, let's say you've been accepted to the internship and now onboarding ka na. You want to do your best, of course. You want to do your research and then, as much as possible, and I wish I really did this in my first internship, I wish I really spent more time setting up meetings with the different department heads and with my peers. Kasi online lahat nun. So, it would have been nice to really talk to them and ask how their experience is like, how the job will be like for them, or how the job is for them. Basically, get a good grasp of how you can contribute. Another thing is during these internships, of course, they will onboard you, diba? What they will do is delegate tasks to you. That's why they got an intern. Because that's what interns are for. You have to help them. And in turn, they will help you build experience. Some of my tasks when I was an intern, an e-commerce sales and marketing intern, was number 1, looking and studying yung Lazada and Shopee e-commerce platforms. So I had to look at bidding ng keywords. I had to set up campaigns on the website. I had to help with brand sometimes, with brand marketing there. And then after you do that, you're going to do it for about 3 to 4 months, usually yung terms ng internships. You're going to get paid every month. And for me, for my first internship, that was 9,500 pesos per month. I didn't negotiate it because at the time, and still now, malaking money siya for someone who was in grade 12. So I didn't negotiate it. Final tips. Number 1 is to look for an internship in the tech industry. High-paying talaga ang tech industry and you're going to learn so much, especially if you're interested in it. Huwag mo naman pasukin if you're not interested. But if you are, then go to the tech industry. Number 2, make sure that you lay out your class schedules doon sa employer mo. You have to set boundaries also na, okay, I'm only available to reply to you talaga actively from 3 to 6 p.m. Before then, I can't. And you have to make sure that they're okay with that para smooth sailing yung internship mo and yung expectations nila ma-match yung reality mo as a student. Number 3, you have to make sure that you're okay with the payment method internship. So for example, is it paid? Is it unpaid? Okay lang naman any. I recommend paid kasi it really will give you some sense of, wow, I'm earning for myself. Pero at the same time, you can't really expect that from all internships. So as long as you're learning from it, I would say go for it. Kasi at this age, all you have to do is learn. Hindi mo pa kailangan kumita ng sobrang malaki right now, but it does help, but it's not a must. Kasi we're students eh. Number 4 is to make good friends with your employers. So really try to talk to them and learn about them and maybe hang out with them pa if may mga company meetings, go to those. Company hangouts, try to go to those. Final tip is to do your best and enjoy it. It's so cliche, I know, but these internships, after 4 months, wala na yan. So really enjoy it and be thankful for the experience. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe. I also have a TikTok channel if you want to look at really fast, like short form content. Pwede doon, I give tips on internships and resume, email tips, stuff like that. I also have a Facebook group if you want to look for internship opportunities. It's called InternLink PH. Thank you and see you soon.